So we've stopped by the Trendy booth here at PAX East to find out a little bit more what you're showing here. What are people playing in these two separate, as far as I understand it, separate sections here of the booth?
So everybody is playing the competitive mode of Dungeon Defenders 2 right now. We do still have the cooperative mode of Dungeon Defenders, which is the Tower Defense Action RPG. Our competitive mode is a third-person MOBA. We're going for a more streamlined MOBA, so like 20 to 25 minute matches, a simpler item system. So trying to make it a little bit easier for maybe newer MOBA players.
So how does Dungeon Defenders translate into a MOBA?
So, the basic idea of a MOBA is about, defending and attacking towers. So we felt that kind of like primary principle of a MOBA really fit the Dungeon Defenders universe.
And how are you switching? If we go back to the what people are familiar with, what does Dungeon Defenders 2 do differently in co-op? What have you changed up?
In the co-op? So in the co-op we have we're going to have 24 heroes, which is far more than we had in the first game. They're all going to have new abilities and new towers. We have a couple of surprises we haven't talked about just yet, but those details will be coming out later.
So I guess there's a lot of Dungeon Defender fans who are coming around here or meeting the team. What's the PAX experience like for a developer?
As a developer, it's been pretty interesting to getting all this feedback. It's a little bit, we revealed the game on Monday, so like people really haven't had a big chance to get like an idea of what the game is. So a lot of people are coming into PAX. Some people didn't know the Dungeon Defenders 2 was happening, so it was pretty interesting to see the reaction to it being a MOBA, or at least a competitive mode being a MOBA. And people seem to be really enjoying it. Definitely excited for some of the stuff coming out later.
People may be a little bit shocked when they sat down to play it, right?
Yeah, exactly. We hope it was shocked in a good way.
Well, I guess the important thing to tell is that you are still doing this, but people are familiar with as well, and that it's not just a complete redo and a MOBA.
Exactly. So there is the cooperative mode. It's still the traditional Dungeon Defenders gameplay that people come to know and love. That's important that people know that, because we're all Tower Defense fans. We're MOBA fans as well, so that's kind of why we're doing both of them. But I want Tower Defense fans to know that that's still coming.
So the first thing I noticed when I looked at the MOBA mode was that you have opted to get the camera down really low. Can you tell us a little bit about why that is and sort of how that changes the concept of a MOBA?
The game was a top-down MOBA for a while, and some of our beta team members gave us some feedback. It was an idea we were kicking around internally as well, and we tried it out and we loved it. We felt it fit Dungeon Defenders more. It gave it a more personal experience, kind of helped the game stand out a little bit from the crowd. We're keeping. We have a fog of war system compared to like other third-person MOBAs that use line of sight. So there's still some of the techniques that people use in other top-down MOBAs that you can. It translates really well whenever you sit down and play the game.
I suppose one of the things that the top-down has is that you can judge range and such things for area of attack and area of effect. How does that change when you switch the camera perspective?
Well, it translates pretty well. At the moment, it's not top-down. It's kind of tilted up at the moment, the camera, so you can still kind of see like your area of effect and how wide an area of effect attack is going to be. You can still see over the trees into the jungle, so it's not like you can't see another lane that you can jump into if you're a hero that has like a leap ability. So it seems to be working pretty well in terms of like knowing where you're attacking and how wide and how far away you're attacking.
So what approach are you taking? Are you taking the one map to rule them all approach, or are you going to bring out more maps for players to explore in the...
So at the moment for launch, we have one 5v5 map. We don't want to split up the community. We don't want to make matchmaking times any longer. If the community wants more maps, we'll be willing to look into that.
Is that sort of your standard MOBA map with lanes and all that stuff, or is it different in any way?
So like the MOBA genre is all about this kind of map. So yeah, it's more like a traditional MOBA map that has like the height levels and fog of war and stuff like that.
So it's easy for someone who's played League of Legends or something just to slip in here and play it.
Oh yeah, we've had a ton of League players stop by and we're just like, I got it, and we're we
too bad for the Dungeon Defenders fans who were sitting on this side.
I did feel a little bit bad. There was a game that was over in 14 minutes, so it was pretty interesting to see that happen.
Maybe you have to change things up, or well, that's for matchmaking to take care of, right?
Exactly. So matchmaking, people of the same skill will be together. Not going to be up against some pro players, but that's part of PAX. You don't know who you're going to be up against in line. You should probably talk to them in line and figure out, and then maybe move backwards.
So if we move on to sort of specifics, I know you just announced the game. What sort of data are you targeting, platforms? Are you talking about that at all?
So the competitive mode is in closed beta right now. The cooperative mode will be in closed beta later this year. We haven't talked about a release date at the moment. We're currently developing for PC, Mac, iOS, Android, and web, and we're developing them to all be cross-platform. So
that's one of the nice things with the first game, right? That you have the cross-platform thing.
Yeah. So we had cross-platform between PC, Mac, and iOS, Android. So kind of want to mix them all together.
Sounds great. How does MOBA translate into a tablet? Is it a good fit?
Yeah, it's definitely a good fit. We have a UI specifically for the MOBA version. It's feeling pretty well right now. We're getting some feedback from our beta team. We're working to improve that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I would imagine that when it's cross-platform, you really have to nail those mechanics so that you're not handicapped if you're on a tablet or something.
Exactly, and we do some cross-platform testing inside the studio, and they're pretty even at the moment, so it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for talking to me.